A rumor has been going around about the possibilities between a DC and a Marvel crossovers. What? And it's all because of one big director. So let's go through it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Alright, so how's your week going, guys? I'm exhausted. I've had a busy week. I've been doing a bunch of busy work. I mean, a lot of busy work. And, well, first off, two jobs. So that kind of took a little bit of, that was a bit of a pain in the ass. But doing a lot of busy work, getting things ready for the launch of the Spanish podcast. Again, the return of the Spanish podcast. I recorded over the weekend with a couple of my buddies. It looks pretty good. I think it looks okay. I already noticed a few mistakes, and I'm overly critical of myself sometimes. But it's like, okay, at least it's working. So the first part is getting it to work, and then it's getting it to look exactly the way I want it to. It's a style thing. Now, right now, it's not an issue of workability. It's an issue of style. So you can always work around with style. Now, I want to do a new open for this podcast. I want to do a new open for that one. Maybe simplify things a little bit. I don't know. I'm still working on it, and it's a work in progress. I think maybe by the end of this week I might load something. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm working on it, and it depends on how busy my week gets. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Let's get into this. Well, before I get into this, let me give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Super Dario World. This week, I'm only going to do Thursday at 2 p.m., so that's tomorrow. I'm going to be breaking down the third episode of Loki, which I'm going to probably watch later tonight because I got plans later today. So this one's also going to be one of the shorter episodes, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, tomorrow, if you want to join me, like, subscribe with the channel. That really helps me out. It's especially going to help me out in the future. Right now, I am overworking myself with other stuff so that I can have more free time to work on this in maybe a couple of months. I'll be able to leave one of my jobs in order to just focus on this one a little bit more, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's all part of the process, and it takes some time. But anyway, let's get into this, because honestly, it's an interesting piece of news. So a crossover between DC and Marvel is not completely crazy. Like, it's kind of doable in a way because it's kind of already been done before. It's been done in the comic book version, and if the source material's there, it could be done other ways. Now, getting Disney and in DC, or would be Warner Brothers, to decide, let's get together to do something. I don't think it's going to be likely, because let's say, well, in the comic book world, it's possible because, again, as I talked about this recently, comic books have been bleeding money lately. But in the movie industry, it's a completely different story, because movies have been doing really well. And so I don't see them doing this in the cinematic world. And honestly, I don't think that they should. The DC universe has a completely different feel and style to the Marvel universe. Marvel is a little bit more kid-friendly. It's a little bit happier. It's a little bit more bubbly. DC is a lot darker. Now, their more recent movies, they've done a little bit more, a bit cheesier. Like Aquaman was totally cheesy. Shazam was cheesy. So that's why I don't think they could be compatible. But still, overall, the universe itself, the thing that people love about DC is that it's dark. That it's actually real. That they take their universe seriously, very seriously sometimes, a bit too seriously sometimes. But or at least the Snyderverse. But the Marvel universe, they don't take themselves seriously at all. It's there's like a famous quote from who is it, Hawkeye, that he's saying, like, there's aliens invading and giant robots, and I'm a guy with a fucking bow and arrow or something. Well, he doesn't drop an F-bomb, but yeah, you get the point. So it doesn't take itself seriously at all. So that would be the incompatibility there. Also, I can't imagine a situation where they would allow their characters to look weaker compared to the other characters. And we know which characters should be on a bigger power level than the others. We know who should be able to kick whose ass, and they're not going to allow it. And so it's one of those things that's like, I don't think that the creators might, there might be creative stuff behind there. They might want to actually do it, but I don't see it happening because of the suits. The suits won't allow it. They have to protect their shield, their company, and so I don't see it happening. It would be honestly more than a TV show, more than a live action movie. I think that in an animated movie, it could be a little bit possible, or at least a little bit more likely. It's still not very likely, but it's a little bit more likely. But the place that I would like to see them is in video game form, because I I love the Marvel versus Capcom games, though. To me, those are fantastic. So something like that could be fun. Something like the Injustice games. Mortal Kombat has Mortal Kombat versus DC, so it could be fun there. That type of scenario, like a fighting game. Also, maybe, like, I don't know if you guys have ever played the Ultimate Alliance games. They used to be the X-Men Ultimate Alliance, then became the Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It could be fun in that scenario too, and it could be like two different storylines. You could pick to be DC or you could be Marvel, and you just start kind of heading in opposite directions, meeting in the middle or something. So it it could happen there. It's more likely for it to happen there, but I don't see it happening in film unless it's in animated form, and it's because honestly, I don't think Disney takes animated stuff too seriously, and so they might allow it, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. However, director has recently made news because he started talking about it, and he says he doesn't think it's gonna happen, but that it's possible. And that director is one James Gunn. So James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, and now the current director, still the current director of Guardians of the Galaxy, and now director of the Suicide Squad. And he made news talking about this. So I'll just read you his whole thing. And first off, let me just mention a few quick things about Suicide Squad that I found interesting. This is one of the biggest questions that people always ask me whenever I do a review for any video game movie. They always want to know, is there an end credit scene? Is there an end credit scene? Well, supposedly Suicide Squad does have an end credit scene, so stick around for that. But let's go into what he said. So he was talking. He had an interview he's speaking on social media. No, okay. So he was answering to a fan tweet. Anyway, so here he talks about the possibility. Okay, so this is James Gunn on Twitter, I believe. I've casually talked to the powers that be at both Marvel and DC about it. I would love for it to happen. I don't think it's likely, but I don't think it's an impossibility either. That said, just constantly seeing crossovers and mashups is less enchanting to me than a strong story. Now, here's the important part about this. I like what he's about to talk about, because it's what actually got me excited about this whole thing. Because so somebody saying that it's possible for something to happen or likely, not really that interesting to me. However, somebody talking about the way that he views stories and all that stuff, or movies, or the way that, or his ideology creating a film, is a lot more important to me, and it actually got me excited for Suicide Squad. So what I'm going to read you now is the reason why I'm excited for Suicide Squad officially. So I find it so here you go again. James Gunn, director of the Suicide Squad. I find it disconcerting at times that many folks seem more interested in crossovers, cameos, references, and post-credit scenes than they do the actual story and characters of a specific film. When making a film, I spend 99.9% of my time thinking about story and character, and 0.1% thinking about the rest. So, important stuff there. And I've been thinking about it, and I've been really thinking about the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. The Guardians of the Galaxy movies stand apart from the rest of the MCU movies because it feels like they're kind of in their own thing. They're still very much linked to the grand world itself, to the grand universe, but they do feel like they are really far out there in the universe, but in the galaxy. But it feels like kind of their own thing. They're their own crew. They're not really linked to everybody. Now, post Infinity War and post Endgame, that might change a little bit. Hopefully not. But you really don't see James Gunn making that big of an effort to bring in characters that have to do with any of the other movies. There could have been an opportunity for a cameo here or a cameo there, and he's like, no, I'm going to do my own characters. I'm going to use these guys. The characters who 5 minutes ago would be considered B Squad characters, and so doing something with that with Suicide Squad could be good. It means that they're going to try really hard just to keep it contained. And that was one of the big issues with the original Suicide Squad. It's like they really wanted to put Batman in there. They really wanted to put the Flash in. They really wanted to put the Joker in there. And it's like, do we need him? It kind of actually ruins the whole thing, because now it's like, hey, the world's going to shit and Batman's not doing anything. The Flash is not doing anything. So I like that aspect, that he likes to keep things contained and apart, and that he's focusing on the story. Because honestly, that's all we care about. That's the only thing the fans care about. Is it a good story? That's it. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter if it's the movie that ties in perfectly or it has the best references or whatever if the movie was shit. Honestly, nobody cares. It's all about the story, guys. It's all about the story. And so, like, this answer really got me excited because it shows you that James Gunn still kind of has his eye on the ball. And this is a guy that's been giving a lot of creative freedom by DC, which was a very smart idea, because as soon as they fired him from Disney, DC was like, we'll hire you, we'll give you money, and so do whatever you want. So could it be the turning point in the DC cinematic universe? I don't know. I don't think so, but it could be the beginning of something. I don't think it's the beginning of something, because the DC universe, it has potential. They've just made some really bad movies, meaning the original Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman 1984. Other than that, they've been solid. I recently rewatched The Man of Steel. It's a really good movie. I know it's not people's cup of tea because they don't like that particular Superman, but I did. Again, it's a dark, gritty universe, and it takes itself very seriously. Sometimes, again, a bit too much, but it actually shows you consequences. It shows you consequences of there being gods among us, and so I enjoyed that very much. And if James Gunn does something with the rated R superhero franchise, it could be really good. I don't see how the Suicide Squad could, exist in the same universe as the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I mean, if they manage to do a crossover that will work, I believe that he could do it. There's one reason why you ask a question like that, and it's simply because you have an idea. So if James Gunn in the future talks about this idea, that'd be fantastic. If they give him a comic book for him to write it or something, I don't know, it'd be fantastic, because I'm pretty sure he has an idea there. And so it'd be fun. It'd be enjoyable. He basically has creative control of both franchises. I don't know how much about the Guardians. I don't think that much about the Guardians of the Galaxy, because now that Thor's there, there's a bunch of rules that he probably has to follow. It's because he can't just kill off Thor. It would kind of mess things up there. But we'll see how it goes. I really hope that Adam Warlock shows up, because I want to know who's gonna play him and stuff like that. But we'll see how it goes. The point is here, if we're doing the crossover, not likely. Possible, not likely. Depends on how badly they're bleeding in the pocketbooks, which I don't see it happening anytime soon, because the movies has still been successful, at least in the box office. Some more than others, and by some I mean Marvel has been way more successful. That's why I think if we're ever gonna see that, it's probably going to be animated form, or maybe if we're lucky in a video game form, which would be fantastic. Because imagine just Superman versus Thor, Superman versus the Hulk, Batman versus Captain America, just kicking each other's ass. That'd be fun. At least I would enjoy it. I don't know if you'd enjoy it, but I'd enjoy it. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm keeping it short because, like I said, I gotta get the hell out of here. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Streaming on YouTube and on Twitch tomorrow at 2 p.m. I will be doing my review of episode 3 of Loki, which I'll be watching later today. I'm not loving the show, man. It feels too much like a listener mentioned this, and he put it in the comment section. It feels like a kid show, so I'm not loving it. I expected it to be something different, like a more adult show. Not there yet. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how episode 3 goes. But like I said, I'll do my review. I've been watching other shows. I've been watching well, I'll save it for when I do my full review, because I'm actually enjoying this one. And subscribe to the channel. I appreciate that. That really helps out, and I'll keep you posted on whenever I will be releasing my newest I have 3 recorded, and so I'll just probably release those pretty soon of the Spanish podcast. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. I need to do a new open. That's pretty much that's the thing that's holding me back. I need to do a new open, but we'll see. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next time.